faith, family, business, adventure. This is the Phoenix Podcast with KenSharpe.
Welcome to the Phoenix Podcast with Kenneth Sharpe, where we showcase people who've risen from the ashes. And today I'm truly privileged to be here with my dear friend Marsha, who's born and bred in the Seychelles, and I'm excited for her to share her story about not only being a woman who empowered herself, but a woman who's made her mission to empower other women. So let's start off, Marsha, and tell us a little bit about Fascination. How do you pronounce it?
Fascination.
Fascination? What does it mean?
Fascination, it's a French or Creole name. I came up with the idea because I believe that all of us should become fascinated with who we are. So I created Fascination under one umbrella because maybe, as you know, I'm very much into health and wellness. And under Fascination, there's the beauty side, which I launched a range of skincare products, body scrub that I make myself, body cream, shampoo, all organic. And the other side is the life coaching services that I offer to the ladies, to empower ladies. So everything under one umbrella.
That is truly fascinating.
Thank you.
So it's Fascination means fascinating?
Fascinating, yes.
Wow, well, that's
fascinating,
so fascinating
with who you are.
So tell me, why Fascination? Why Fascination? Why did you come up with this idea?
Fascination, it sounds for me really authentic as a Creole name. And last year I launched a movement, Femme Fascination. Femme means, that's the Creole name for woman. The whole point of it is to empower women in the Seychelles, like a movement where we can all come together, laugh together, cry together, no judgments, where we can express how we feel, exchange our views, and it's a movement where I feel that it is needed in the Seychelles, because I believe by us empowering each other, there's great power in that, and this is how we should educate our children.
So tell me a little bit about what's behind the brand, the lifestyle, the health. What are you striving to achieve for people following you and following your brand?
You know, Ken, since I embarked on this journey, it started 2019. I did my course in 2018 for my own knowledge. But during COVID, it hit everybody. So I thought to myself, because I saw my family, my friends in Seychelles, overseas, it was a difficult period. We were not prepared for that. Nobody expected. So I said, why not reach out to others to offer support emotionally, spiritually, in any way I can help others to get through that period. So this is how it started, and I launched myself on the market, and the response was very good. And at that time, I felt that this is my purpose. And every time I help somebody, I felt a sense of accomplishment.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So would you say you're driven by helping others?
Yes.
And this brand you feel is going to help others emotionally and physically? That's
the whole point, because I believe when it comes to your health, it's not only about the physical condition, where most people put emphasis on that. It's everything. Spirituality as well, it's very important. Emotionally, your mindset, everything must be aligned. Because for instance, let's say, all of us, we talk about mindset. We talk about being positive. Yes, it's good to have the right mindset. But if you have the right mindset, but to carry resentment, bitterness in your heart, it's not aligned. Your spirituality is not in the right space as well. So everything must be balanced. Like we talk a lot about balance, life balance. Everything must be aligned with who you are, with your soul. And by you finding the balance in that 4 categories, it helps you to live an authentic life, living your purpose.
That's beautiful, Marsha.
Thank you.
So before we come back to you as an entrepreneur, because I know you're a very dynamic, passionate businesswoman and entrepreneur naturally, but tell us a little bit about your background, your upbringing. I know a little bit about you because my mom was reading your book recently and she told me a bit about it, how you were bullied at school, how you were teased, you were overweight, you were not popular. How did you become this fascinating, successful, beautiful woman? And where did it start? So take us back to younger days, as a toddler, as a teenager, as early as you can remember. Share some of your memories with us.
So last year, I launched my very first book, Becoming a Femme Fascination. So I talk mainly about 4 boxes. Growing up in the Seychelles, well, Seychelles, as you know, is a very small island state, less than 100,000 people. And I don't know the right word, but you feel that you are in an aquarium. Either you fit in or you feel like an outcast. So when I was growing up, I grew up in a Catholic home. My mother especially was Catholic, going mass every Sunday. So this is how I was raised. And I did not know more than that. At that time in school, I did not know about the Bible. So it was going to mass every Sunday, listen to the priest, going back home, ensure that you are well dressed. That was the rules at home. So the culture in Seychelles put me in a box. I call it the cultural box because I felt that society, culture, our teachers and our parents, because they are our role models when we are growing up, form us.
Right.
And this can become your identity because you follow them. This is what I believe. The next box, and my parents, they tried their best. Like my mom, she never told me she loves me.
Never?
Never.
Isn't that sad?
And my dad as well, because the way they were raised, but I know that they loved me in their own way. So after, when I started putting on weight during my teens, 10, 12, I'm the only child, but my mom, she had a son before, and my father was married. So when they met, it was like 2 broken people coming together. And it was quite an unstable environment, but I was never abused. They showed me love and affection in their own way. However, my brothers from my father's side did not get along with my mama. And my mama...
So would that be your half-brothers? Or
yeah, my half-brothers from my dad's side. So my mom, I think, from the separation with one child, trying to adapt to the new lifestyle, raising her son, and my father's son, it was something easy. And my father was a businessman, entrepreneur as well, very first in the Seychelles, actually.
Really? What did he do?
They had shops in Market Street. They were the first one. There's 2 of them and the brother. They both passed. They were the first one in Seychelles to have the Tata bus.
Okay.
And we were the first one as well to open like to make bread. How you call
Bakery?
this? Bakery, yes.
Right.
We make ice cream as well. So most of the time he spent his days at the shop as the business.
He was a hard worker? And was he wealthy? Did they have a lot of money?
Yes, in that Seychelles, yeah. They were very, very
prominent?
well known. Yeah. So we had a nanny as well to look after my brothers. So I think that created quite a very unstable environment. There was always these arguments between my parents. Eventually, when my brothers reached 18,
how old were you?
Smaller, like 6, 7.
Okay.
I wasn't born.
Do you remember it all?
I remember, yeah. I put it in my book as well.
Okay.
Actually, when I wrote that first chapter, it was quite difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because you have to go back
to the memory.
But it was a healing process as well.
Right. Therapeutic.
So, yeah. So at the age of 18, they left Seychelles. They decided
You were 18?
No, my brothers.
Oh, okay.
When they reached 18, they decided to leave Seychelles and move to Canada, where their biological mom, was there.
All right.
So when they left, I felt like empty, and I could see that my father was very affected by that. And I was very close to my dad, and part of me had some resentment towards my mother because I felt that she was the cause of my dad's unhappiness.
Okay.
So I started to eat because I did not know how to channel that. So this is how my
overeating,
emotional eating, binging.
Binging.
So this is the next box. I call it the overweight box. because I was bullied repeatedly. They used to call me Fatso in school.
Fatso?
Yes.
You don't look fat at all. In fact, I see you every day in the gym and you're so
Thank
slim,
you.
and I would never imagine you being so fatso.
Yeah, at one stage
That's
I was
nasty.
about 80 kilo.
80 kilos?
Yeah.
And how old were you?
18, 19.
18?
Yeah, it's
80 kilograms.
Right.
And
so-
today you're 40 something?
No, today I'm 58.
58?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you don't look over 40.
Thank you.
Neither your age.
Thanks. So, and then being bullied as well, obviously I had no confidence in myself and zero self-esteem. I didn't know how to do that. Then with not getting the love from my parents, this is what I felt, because I didn't know how to tell them or how they helped me. At that time in Seychelles, there was no counselors or psychologists. They tried to send me to a nutritionist, but it did not help because I did not have the mindset to follow a meal planner. Then I moved to the validation boxes. What I meant is always seeking for friends' approval, because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to have a sense of belonging, but I was looking it in the wrong way. Like trying to be a people pleaser. If not, then I'm trying to please people, but deep inside I was very unhappy. And I
Did it make you feel like you were in a shell?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, definitely.
And were you ashamed? Were you feeling embarrassed? Were you
I
confident?
was.
Were you an introvert?
No, very.
You were introverted?
Yes, very, very much so. No confidence, no self-esteem.
No self-esteem.
I had to
No
act.
confidence.
No confidence, zero.
Sure. Until what age?
Actually, the turning point in my life, I will say in my late 30s.
As long as that?
Yeah.
Late
I will say
30s.
maybe 2018 or 2017. Dependency boxes. That's the other box as well, where you finding or looking for that person to fulfill you. I did not know about unconditional love. So I felt that, if I met that person can fulfill me and to make me happy, which was wrong. I did not know. Zero, I knew about that, but it is Marsha's responsibility to make herself happy, to make myself happy, and love start with me.
So that vacuum that you felt for all those years, from a young child growing up as a teenager until your late 30s, how did you fill that void? What did you put in there?
Food.
Food?
Emotional eating.
Right. And what else? What else would you say was a vice, something that brought you down, something that you regret maybe doing?
I regret for not taking care of my body at an early age, because even the Bible says your body is a temple. But I believe that I did not know any better.
Right.
I did not know any better. I tried my best, and I believe that there was a reason why I went through all these phases in my life, because these phases has molded me to become who I am today. And because of that, I'm in a position to help other women. But yes, you will always be put in a box, but you don't have to stay in the boxes. You can step out of the boxes, but you have to make a conscious decision like I did. I knew that I was more than the boxes. For instance, when I was 18, I didn't, in Seychelles there was no university, and I wanted to leave Seychelles and go to Australia to further my studies.
Australia?
Yes. My parents were not really in favor, especially my father, because he was very close and attached to me, to leave him. So, but I explained. I even went to the extent of going to sort the president to assist me to get through to Australia, and the government supported me. Eventually, I told my father, but I need to have an education, because my father was quite old and I did not want to be dependent on anyone. I wanted to become an independent woman.
So he was not very supportive of you getting an education?
He did support me of getting an education, not supporting me to leave him.
And in Seychelles, what I understand is the government allows you to study outside of the country, and they support you financially?
They support you, but they bond you, and then you come back to work for them, which
For how
is
long?
good. It depends on your course. It can be 2 years, 4 years to give back to the country.
So what did you study and what did you do when you came back?
I studied Bachelor of Business. I majored in tourism management and marketing. So when I got back, my first job was with the Seychelles Tourism Board, Ministry of Tourism. I've been with them for 10 years.
Wow, that's
And
a long time.
yes, I used to be the marketing side, live in South Africa for 6 years, based in the UK, and travel around Scandinavia, around in Africa as well. So it was a beautiful experience.
Did you ever visit my country, Zimbabwe?
Yes, twice.
And what did you think of Zimbabwe?
The people is humble. Very
That's
nice
true.
country, yes.
Beautiful people, right?
Beautiful people, absolutely.
Thank you for visiting us. So coming back to that story you tell me, I know in Zimbabwe we have this syndrome. I call it the tall poppy syndrome. Some people call it the tall grass syndrome. And basically when one piece of grass or tall poppy stands up, everyone wants to cut it down because there's a lot of jealousy in society. People don't understand necessarily why one person is doing better than another. Is that a similar problem in Seychelles?
Yes, definitely. People in Seychelles is very judgmental, is very opinionated.
Yes.
And I believe this is one of the reasons why we are put into that box, because we fear what this person is going to say about me. If I did that person, like in my case, if I did that person, my mother might not like it, what people will say. But living your life like that, it's makes you very unhappy, and you cannot be yourself truly if you're always trying to please others. But once you step out of this box, you say, you know what, like I said to myself, no matter what I do, people will always judge me. You can do right or wrong, there will always people trying to bring you back. But how do you get up? That's the question I always ask.
That's the question, right? So now, as we're sitting in this beautiful park, which you've just seen in the Seychelles on an island, I can't help but think, you know, Seychelles is such a beautiful place, natural beauty, stunning beauty, raw beauty, unspoiled nature. And yet the people, to me, seem like they're always not happy enough or something isn't good enough. But they have so much to be grateful for. So 100%. What is it that prevents them from having this happiness? And secondly, my question to you is, as you heard just now, the wind was blowing, and in Seychelles, the weather can change in a minute, and the sun is now shining on us, and it's extremely hot. So it goes from cool breeze to extremely hot, humid, and then suddenly rain will come. So before it rains, I just wanted you to explain to us, Marsha, and in Seychelles you have the winds, the winds blowing, the trade winds for 6 months of the year?
Yes.
And then you have the other winds, the monsoons.
Monsoon, correct.
So the wind changes direction, for 6 months blows in one direction and 6 months another direction, and there comes back the wind to cool us. What was the wind that blew into your life that made you change?
I went through a very tough period in 2017 and 18 in my marriage, and this is when I realized that was my lowest. This is when I made a conscious decision that, you know what, I need to make a change. I need to change my life because I deserve better than that. This is how it started, and it wasn't an easy process. I call it like a self-discovery process. Who I am, what is my purpose, what are my values, what is my true identity, what motivates me in the morning. Because I did not want just to live to please others, whether it's my husband, whether it's my friends, my mother. Like I wanted to stop being a people pleaser and do things that I love, I feel passionate about. Like for instance, as you know, we have Chatterbox, but this is my husband's idea. It's his creativity. And yes, I support him, and this is why I launched Fascination. I wanted to make my own mistakes, learn from it. If I fail, I fail, and at least I know this brand represents who I am.
So in 2017, 2018, when you were struggling with your identity and you were questioning your marriage, questioning your relationships, what was it that wasn't right with your husband? What were you not aligned in? And what did you do about it?
What was not aligned, when we met as well in South Africa, I've always been a very independent woman. My career, I built everything, but he was a family man. And when we met as well, he just got divorced and he has children. So meeting somebody with kids and moving into a house, I don't know what to do, to be honest with you. I don't know how to manage the situation. I try my best. I don't want his kids to see me as a mother, because I know that, you know, I will never be the mother, but rather as a role model to them. To create a space for them, because I believe that every child deserves a stable environment, and it's important that we provide them that safe environment. So I did that, and moving back to Seychelles, we opened Chatterbox. For me,
Chatterbox is a restaurant cafe, a very popular place.
in Seychelles, that's like I'm saying, it was his idea. If it wasn't him, I will not pursue the business. But being new to the business, I did not know how to draw the line between my personal life and the business life. Disagreement, because his management style and mine is totally different. Me, I'm more a team player, like he's more authoritative, like very dominant. It's his way or the highway. So we clashes, but some of the stuff, the arguments, let's say at work, I brought it into my marriage. I know how to differentiate that, and I think the business, I believe that the business grew us apart as well.
So how did you save that?
I went to South Africa first. My first attempt, I went to see a pastor, and I talk about it because I wanted to get a divorce. Because I said to myself, you know what, I don't want to be in a relationship. I believe that my husband did not love me anymore. Or I don't want to hold him back or anyone back. So rather, call it a day and let's move forward. But part of me, after talking to the pastor, he told me to get my husband a Bible. But I realized that even if I buy him a Bible, I cannot force him to read. I cannot force him to change. And that's a lesson I learned as well, which is very important. We cannot force people to change. They must be changed willingly, because if they change to please you. And they can go back to themselves.
It's not sincere.
Yeah, it's not sincere, exactly. Then I had a very good friend in South Africa. She introduced me to a life coach. And this is where everything started. And she told me straight, the things that I did not want to hear, she told me, let the change start with me as Marsha, what I can do to change my marriage.
Right.
So this is how it started.
So that came home to you, a big brick.
Yes, a big
And then
brick.
you started to make changes.
I started to make changes with myself.
And that's basically 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, not too long.
And coming back to we'll come back to that in a minute, but I just want to come back to your upbringing again. There's a famous Harvard professor who's known as the father of innovation. And he wrote a book, How You'll Measure Your Life. Clayton Christensen is his name. He also wrote The Innovator's Dilemma, which is a famous book on innovation. And anyone in IT, tech, computers will know the book. But when he wrote this book about how you'll measure your life, he was actually very sick. He had cancer, he was diagnosed with cancer, and only given 6 months to live. Of course, he outlived the cancer and lived for another 10 years. But during this book, where he explored himself and talked a lot about philosophy, not so much about God, but about faith and about upbringing of children, I remember part of the book, it really struck me. And he talked about what we want to do for our children. Like in my life, I feel that my parents didn't do everything for me, so I wanted to do everything for my child. How was it in your life with your parents?
I always say that my parents did their best, but at the end of the day, it is each one of us to live our life. I cannot go back into my past because my past does not define me. You see, they did their best.
Powerful.
Because some people, they always go back to their past, or we always blaming someone. Why I can't do that? There's always an excuses, and it's always our limiting beliefs, because it helps us to play safe and keep us in our comfort zone. So I decided that this is my life. I need to take control of it. Nobody's going to come and love me. Nobody's going to come and save me. And that's the truth. That's a fact of life. My past does not define me. I need to take control of my life. Whatever I need to do it for myself, because nobody's going to come and save me. I need to save myself and
so
make
you
myself
can't blame
happy.
your parents.
No.
You can't blame your
society.
past. You can't blame the people. You can't blame the things that you didn't have. It's about what do you do for yourself today.
100%.
So coming back to the message that I wanted to share with you, this is what he said in his book, that if we want to make our children, it's not what we do for them that makes them, but what we don't do for them. And in my own life, my parents didn't do a lot of things for me, but those things they didn't do are the things that helped me to become who I am. Would you say that's similar in your life, and
Yes,
why?
I will say that because what they did not do for you, sometimes it plays on your mind, but you believe that you can do more than that. There's much more that you can offer the world. Like maybe in your case as well, you are a visionary by nature, an entrepreneur, and you are a man of God. And for you, you always put everybody first. You want the best for Zimbabwe. You want the best for the country. And I said that, and I believe you are as well. You are a force for God and a force for good.
Thank
and
you,
I said
Marsha.
that
Thank you.
to me as
Thank
well.
you.
I'm a force for good because there's nothing more powerful than helping others, being a blessing to
true,
other
true.
people.
So what is it that's made you become into this life coach? And you've taken your skills, you've taken your past lessons, and you're now using them to help people. What is it that motivated you to do that?
I want you to empower women. I want you to tell them, yes, regardless of your situation, your past boxes, challenges, it is possible to live the life that you want. And people talk about success. Each one of us defines success.
What is success for you?
For me, success is living life on my terms. What I meant, to have a 360 degrees life. For me first, my spirituality, because I am who I am because of God. He comes first. Secondly, is my health and wellness. And be able to step out of my apartment to go for a walk on the beach or a swim, that is success as well. Yes, I enjoy financial freedom because it allows me to live the life that I want. But I don't measure success by my Instagram accounts, how many people like me, or how much money is it in the bank. Because if we do, that's what I believe, it can be very lonely journey. And part of success as well is growing. We need to grow. I keep telling myself, I'm not the woman I used to be 5 years ago. I'm different. And next year, I'm going to be different. I want to become the best version of myself. Every day, every month, I'm evolving.
So what is it? Let's go back to the business side of you, the entrepreneur. What is it that you want to achieve in the next 1 year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years? And let's say, fast forward to one day when you're retired and looking back at your business life, what would you want to say that you've been able to achieve?
Regarding my coaching, I would like to expand my service outside Seychelles. I would like to travel, attend conferences, become an international speaker. And to be honest with you, if you ask me, even last year, to do a podcast with you, I would say no. Because public speaking has been my fear for many, many years. But I learned that in order for you to overcome the fear, you must do the thing that you feel uncomfortable.
And are you comfortable now?
I am comfortable. It's getting better practice. And I did actually working on my plan yesterday. I like to plan my week, my month. Every Sunday I review my big five. I would like to, my dream is to have a foundation. A foundation, or to become part of a foundation to help kids. As you know, I support children in Zimbabwe, and that gives me great pleasure as well, to help other women as well, wherever God leads me. This is what I would like to do.
That's beautiful. Empowering women, giving back.
Yes, giving back.
So in our company, we at West Prop, I don't know if you know this, Marsha, but we have a 50% gender equality policy. And one of the things I first did in my senior management team was to make sure that we had 3 women and 3 men running the company from the top. And that's filtered down through the organization today. And we have women engineers, women quantity surveyors, women site managers, women drivers, women working on the site, on the ground, women bookkeepers. And I think throughout our whole organization, we're now almost at 50% women.
Wow.
And I believe men and women are equal. So I think what you're doing is really great to empower women, and the message is really strong. So I can just keep encouraging you to keep speaking, keep doing what you're doing. Coming back to the business though, for our audience, tell us, what was it that got you started? Did you get a loan? Did your parents give you some money? How did you start business?
For Chatterbox?
Yeah. And for your current business that you're doing?
For Fascination, no. Just like a service.
All right.
For Chatterbox, we did not take a loan. We start everything from scratch.
Right.
From nothing? From nothing, yeah.
From nothing.
Even though I work in the tourism industry, I had no experience in the hotel part, like in restaurants. Neither my husband, because his background, he specialized into mechanical engineering. He's passionate about cars, and he studied as well in nutrition, in sports management. So my husband as well, he's a visionary. So when we moved to Seychelles, he saw an opportunity in the market. And this is how we started a Chatterbox. There was no place where you can go for a coffee or you can go for a breakfast. You have to go to hotels. And I remember one time, one of our friends from South Africa visited Seychelles, and they were looking for coffee in the morning, and we could not take them anywhere. So this is how it started, a Chatterbox. We started from scratch, from putting the menu together, the pricing, everything. But we knew that we will make a lot of mistakes. We were comfortable because this is how we grew. And he always said that he's saying you can fail 1,000,000 times, but you only need to succeed once.
True.
You only need to get it right. If you get one project or one business right, that's good.
And so to the viewers, there was an opportunity, but the most important thing is make sure that that opportunity meets a need, a real need of a customer for your product, your service.
Definitely.
And the need that was there was a real one, that there was no coffee in the morning, and you're able to do that now. So tell me about the money that your parents left you. Did they give you a lot of money? Did they give you a big inheritance?
No, my father did not left me much money. So what I did with that money that he left me a small property, like 1-bedroom apartment. So with his money, I took a loan from the Seychelles Bank, and I built 2 apartments.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I built, and now it's renting.
It's earning an income.
Yes, and part of the money as well, I bought myself 2 properties in South Africa, and I managed to get a loan, which I am repaying.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're a budding real estate
Yes, I believe
baroness.
in properties. It's a good investment. But apart from that, I build. I'm an independent woman, and your course, your brother-in-law.
Yes.
Even last week, he told me I'm not driven by money. I said yes. Other things drives me.
But you're smart, because someone that takes their profits and invests it into property is doing the right thing. And by leveraging your position, so you're borrowing, you're getting a mortgage, you're doubling the portfolio, you went from 1 flat to 2 and then 4. That's what it's all about. You're renting them out, so you're minimizing your risk. It's repaying the loans, and over time that property will grow, and your wealth will grow. And that's what it's about for me, is generational wealth, improving yourself so the next generation is better off than you.
Definitely.
And you can say your father left you with very little, but you've already made that more.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, Marsha. So coming to the conclusion of this talk, what would be the single strongest message? And I just want you to look at the audience and tell them what it is that you want them to hear from you.
What I would like to tell the audience, all of us go through challenges in life, but regardless of your challenges or boxes that you feel that you've been put, you can step out of those boxes, and do not allow your excuses, your limiting beliefs to help you play smaller. You are here on this earth for a purpose. You are unique, and tap it into that potentials. Life is hard, but failure is part of life. It's part of it. We are meant to fail, because this is how we grow. This is how we learn. And I always say, whatever comes my way, the challenges, I grow from that. I learn the lesson, and I build on that. And never give up. Don't give up on your dream.
Never give up on your dream. Amen to that, Marsha.
Thank you.
Well, I wish you the very best.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you for this opportunity, and I wish you continued success as well.
Thank you. And this is the Phoenix Podcast with KenSharpe, showcasing people risen from the ashes.
Faith, family, business, adventure. This is the Phoenix Podcast with KenSharpe.